that we are, we recorded this morning, so we're just getting some editing finished before we drop it this afternoon. And I am excited to get down in the nitty gritty about everything that's been going on with Margaret. And I let everyone know that, like, I'm not holding back. I don't think you're going to be holding back. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today.
Yes, you know what? And it's like every time she does something like this to a blogger, because she's done several things, I just keep telling myself, when is someone at the top, someone in her employment, like someone at Bravo, like her employer, like when is somebody going to hold her accountable? I mean, this is a person who continues to email and DM, attaching her so-called lawyer to the chat, threatening them, getting into like their personal life, dropping little tidbits about who we are, in our personal life, which it's like disgusting. Who are you, lady? Like, how many times are we going to hear a story that Margaret's creeping into people's DMs, talking shit? Oh, are we allowed to cuss?
Yeah, actually, we can say whatever we want because we're on a podcast, so we have no worries.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, yeah. So it's like, how many times are we going to hear that she's over here DMing people or talking shit about bloggers? I mean, she's done it like on other people's podcasts. Remember when she said that we were low life? Remember when she also said that low level? Good.
Yes.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, how many more times are we going to hear it until somebody does something about it? But it seems like her employer doesn't really give a shit either, because they're not reprimanding her for anything.
It's so funny that you say that. Of course, everything in this video is alleged, but I did reach out to ITV, who is actually the producer. So it goes like NBC, Bravo, Evolution, Cyrus, and then under that is ITV. And I sent the direct messages that I got from Margaret, which you guys may not have got to hear those verbatim. So I'm going to give those to you guys in a second here. But I sent them verbatim to her, and she basically told me that they're not responsible for their talent. And she repeated that several times because I wanted to make sure that I was understanding it clearly before, I spoke about it on a podcast or on my YouTube channel, that this woman who's representing Catherine at ITV, producers, saying that, they aren't responsible for their talent. So I did reach out to a couple of people at NBC, and we are, I'm just pending a response. But anytime I've had to reach out to ITV, which is the producers of the Real Housewives in New Jersey, they give 0 F. They won't even give you the legal email address for their legal aid, Amanda. It's not listed on their website, and if you call there and ask for it, they will not give you her email address. And she's their legal aid representation. How is that possible? So I agree with you. Like, we got to start holding people accountable because, first of all, bloggers give so many housewives and the community of Bravo like so much free press, and for her to be shitting on us and demonetizing us and attacking us and doing all this stuff, and she's not reprimanded, and like we're giving up free time, free press, and this is how we get treated, and Bravo just does not have any interest in reprimanding or having like any sort of standard for the people that they employ and give a platform to.
Yeah, and I'm just appalled that she's so fucking bothered that she's being talked about. She should be lucky that she's being talked about, because according to what's going on this season, she's kind of fading away into the background. She really has no storyline, and I'm really glad that no one's giving her any clout this season. Like, I'm sure she tried to grab a little bit of it at Melissa's fashion show. If you saw some of the videos, she was really going in. She wasn't fighting with Jen Aiden, actually. It looked like she was, but she wasn't. She was going in about Jackie, and she was being really disrespectful. But if you really think about it, Margaret doesn't really have anything on the show to offer. She's really boring. Nobody wants to see the crusty scenes of her plucking her husband's nose hairs. There's no family involved. We know nothing about her personal life other than the fact that she's had a bazillion lawsuits that are unpaid. She's broke as fuck. There's nothing nice about her life that we want to see. So she really has nothing to give to the show other than starting shit. So she should be lucky that the bloggers are talking about her, and she exists in a world where good press is bad press. Is good press or bad press is press, period. You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as bad press. Like, she should be happy that she's being talked about to keep her ass relevant. And here's the thing. We can say what we want as bloggers. It may be true. It may not be true. You may agree with it. You may not. but it is our fucking right to say what we want on our platform. And the thing is, whether you agree or not, whether you think it's good press or bad press, it's hurting you, it's not, it's elevating you, it's our fucking prerogative to say what we want about you. So for you to be over here sending fucking cease and desist, telling us to shut up, don't do this, don't do that, we're coming for you, talking about, oh, I know who you are in your personal life, wait till I expose you. Literally like threatening us all because we're talking about you. Like, bitch, you should be thankful that we are, because we're keeping the lights on in your fucking house. These bloggers keep these Bravo lebs going. We really do. Like,
say that again for everyone, because I'm like really ready to, like, I'm so tired of getting treated poorly by Bravo celebrity when, like you said, we keep their lights on. They're getting so much free press. Like, Bravo could never afford to pay for the press that they get for free from bloggers like you and I.
exactly. Like, even if it's in a negative way, when you see her like on the timeline, Margaret, over and over and over again, like, we're keeping her relevant when she is the least relevant person on that show. If you really think about it, what has she done? What has she done? What has she brought? Don't tell me that she pushed somebody in the pool like that. Get out of here. That was so staged and pre-thought. Like, remember on Melissa's podcast when she said that her and Joe gave her the idea, that they were like pumping her up, telling her, do it, do it, do it. Yet she wanted to sit there and be a hypocrite and cry when she told when Teresa told Danielle, yeah, pull her hair. Like, what's the difference from the Gorgas telling Margaret, do it, do it, do it, push Marty, get him in the pool, grab him by the shoulders and fling him into the pool. That's going to be a moment. Then Teresa really quickly saying, yeah, pull her hair, Danielle. Like,
right.
They're hypocrites. But anyway, she hasn't given anything to the show. And people like to say, well, yeah, she stirs the pot. It brings drama. Well, guess what, bitches? We stir the pot too on social media, and we keep that shit going. So, like, don't come into my DM telling me, I know who you are, Gabriella. I know where you live. I can do damage to you too. Like, bitch, really? Like, I don't put my life out there. I don't put my life out there for you to criticize it. You're putting your life out there to be scrutinized, good or bad. Like, you got to have some thick skin to be in this game, because you're going to get criticized no matter what. Like, for her to be slipping into people's DMs, attaching her little lawyer and saying, we know where you live, we're sending you certified like warrants and this and that, we're involving the police. This lady is cray cray.
She's unhinged, literally. Like, I mean, the fact that, well, first of all, tell us what happened, because you tried to kind of go from Twitter to Instagram, and you had to, like, let's tell everyone, because maybe they don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah,
like,
well, when I started off on Twitter, like, I started blowing up pretty fast, because that was the thing with me. There was no filters. I didn't give a shit. Like, I had no one to like answer to. I just started watching the show from the start, like season 1, and all this time I was never on social media up until a year ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me try Twitter. When I got to Twitter, I started giving my opinions. Like, I didn't hold back. And a lot of people started liking it. They were like, yes, like, that's how we feel too. Like, keep it coming. Then I got Margaret in my DM. This is Laura. I know who you are. And I was like, what? And at this point, I didn't even know who Laura was, right? And then it started surfacing about Melissa and Nick Barada, whatever his name is. All these things started coming out, right? And then I started like getting some tea behind the scenes about what was going on. And then I did end up meeting Laura. And I told her, how funny, your girl over here. And she's like, that's not my girl. And like, Margaret over here thinks that I'm you. So then I started like putting stuff out there. And then she was starting to say, oh, that's Dave, Laura's husband. I saw her in people's comments saying Melissa's old nose is Dave Jensen. And then I started calling her out, like, who am I? Because first you said I was Laura, then you said I was Dave. So then I decided to make an Instagram, which was Love, Love, Love Gabriella. And I headed over there. Within 1 day. So, all those so-called rumors that she fucking lives on social media and she's like stalking everybody. She really is. Because she caught my account within 24 hours of getting there. She sends me a DM accusing me of being Jennifer, which I did put that out there and it's on my TikTok if anybody wants to see it, or you can also find it, if you look back in my Twitter. She sends me a DM talking shit about your family's gonna fall. Enjoy your time until then. I know who you are. And I was seriously responding, like sarcastically, like, oh, you like, I think I put like a little broken egg emoji and I was like, you cracked me up. Like, I was just like fucking with her. Cause I just thought,
Mm-hmm.
is she sundowning? Like, what's wrong with this lady? Something, she was like off her rocker, like talking nonsense. And then she was like, Cynthia. And I was like, who the fuck is Cynthia? She's like, you know who she is? Like, that's your husband's girl or something like that. Like, she went into it and I was like, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, get out of here. And then she just talked all this shit. She was threatening in that DM. And I was like, who is this bitch? And so I thought, oh, she thinks I'm Jennifer Aiden. So then I was like, who am I? Who do you think I am? Like, first you were so sure that I was Laura. Then Dave, her husband. Now Jennifer. Like, give me a break. But then once I DM'd her again, when I told her, this is Gabriella, I'm in California, like, lady, you're off your rocker, like, da da da. Then she started with, I know who you are. I knew who you were the whole time. And then I was
Oh
like, oh my God, you're crazy. I was just like, she's nuts. She's nuts. And I thought, no, you didn't know who I was the whole time. And I had people on the side that were DMing her, like, because they saw that my DM with her, which thought I was Jennifer, and they were like, really? Why do you think that love, love, love Gabriella is Jennifer? And then here she was, and I released this DM too from someone else, and she was like, listen, I know who you guys all are. You think we don't know? We're getting the police involved. Like, she started talking about being a cop caller and this and that. And I just thought, wow, this lady, she's not well. She can't take criticism. She shouldn't be on the damn show, number one. And number two, you can't just again slip into people's DMs threatening to, oh, I know where you live. I know who you are. Like, what are you going to do? Also, I'm going to call, the cops have been called. A police report has been made. And let me tell you, when we watched last season's reunion, where she brought
Mm-hmm.
all that shit against Louis,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, here we go again. Here she is accusing someone of saying something. But you know what I thought was funny? She didn't say anything about a police report. Which online to bloggers, she's dropping the fucking cops left and right. She told me like 4 times that she made a police report and she got the police involved for harassment, which I don't even live in the same state as this bitch. So I thought, okay, so here she is on TV telling Louis, you called my son, you're threatening him, blah, blah, blah. So if you're involving the police department in Bergen County for a blogger in California saying she doesn't like you, but you haven't involved a police officer when here you have someone who lives like, in the same state as you, who works with you, so-called threatening your son, like she would have rolled up with a police report because she loves to so-called involve the police, which I kind of don't think she actually is. She's just bullshit,
No,
trying to scare us. But if that was a
absolutely.
real thing where Louis really did call her son, this bitch would have called the police immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
from when I saw that, I was like, what a bullshitter. Like, she's such a liar. And just wait, you guys. Wait till it all comes out in season 14. This bitch had everybody at her house the night before the reunion. They all planned to team up against Louis. Wait till it all comes out, you guys. And I
Oh my
hope the
gosh.
production doesn't cut that shit out because it was said several times this season.
That is okay. There's so much to unravel there. First of all, that's exactly what she's doing to me. She's accusing me of being Trey Fab 2022 because when Melissa's cousin's now husband Mike was attacking both of us at the same time, and he doxed me and posted my mugshot and all that shit. Teresa or Trey Fab like took up for me and she was like posting in support of me. So whenever I had to make peace with Melissa to get my address down, Trey Fabs, she kept on her, she still had her own reasons for, posting what she wanted about them. And now they continue to say that I am her. So does Krusty Balls. And they're convinced that I'm her. I'm like, the lady lives in another country. another country. Like,
Yeah.
look at her IP address.
Yeah.
That she DM'd me, threatening the police, threatening a warrant. And here's another thing: you're disrespecting every police officer and district when you go in and waste their time to file a police report over some nonsense. You're wasting the county's time and their money, and that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's abusing the police.
Yeah. No, she accused me before of being tree fab as well. And you know what the thing about tree fab? Tree Fab is one of those accounts out there who doesn't give a fuck about what anyone thinks. If she sees something and she calls it out, she doesn't give any shits about what anyone has to say. She will put out whatever she wants and she has no filter. And that's good. I love people like that because it shows that they won't be intimidated by others. And I'm sure Tree Fab's got, her share of DMs, you know,
Yeah.
but I love the fact that you can sit there and give your opinion unfiltered, even if you don't agree with it. Like she's doing her. Like I love that. I love that about Tree Fab. Like she is wild and she's just out there doing her thing and doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks. I love that. And whether you agree with her or not, the fact that she's just out there like blazing and doing how she wants, like doing
Mm-hmm.
as she pleases, I love that. I respect that. Even if I may not agree with everything, it is what it is. I just respect a person who